Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Uncle Show. I am Uncle Rob, and I'll tell you what, I'm flying solo today. Uncle Rhino is on assignment. He will be back shortly. We will get with him next time. We've got a return guest today. We had him on 3 or 4 months ago. We promised 90 days, and we're probably at that 90-day mark. Y'all will know him as Big Guy. Mark, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Rob. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing really good, man. Great to see you back on the show. Great to see all the success and everything going on, man.
It's awesome. I'll tell you, I can't believe it. It's it's one of those things where you get humbled fast in this business, and if you don't get humbled, you'll walk in thinking you're the smartest guy in the room and find out in Nashville or anywhere in the music industry that's not true.
Never go into the situation think you know everything.
Yeah,
because
I'm a sponge.
You're a sponge.
I'm a sponge.
If you go into it, not saying you, but person in general goes into it thinking they know everything, you're setting yourself up for disaster.
Hey, you're done. You're absolutely done. So yeah, it's been quite a ride for me. I retired 10 months ago. And I was an international child safety advocate. For those years, I worked with America's Most Wanted. And, chasing bad guys, educating parents, doing town meetings, safeguarding kids. And, so when that stopped, there's a hole to fill because I'm a busy guy. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to relight my music career. Well, I didn't know that relight was going to have a rocket strapped to it. And I hit a song that was instantly really well received and pretty hot. And next thing I know, roll to today. And I've got 2 songs in the top 100. In fact, I'm the only artist, and I don't mean that bragging, it's just a number. But on the Cashbox, as you well know, because you guys are real involved in Cashbox, on the Cashbox charts, I'm the only guy with 2 solo songs in the top 100 right now.
You're not bragging, facts is facts. Facts are facts. Before we get into that, you lost a very close friend here in the last couple of weeks or so, in the past month anyway.
Yep. August 2nd.
He was a mentor to you. He was a good friend of yours. I saw your videos. I saw your kind of a step-by-step on that last visit you did to his production studio.
Yeah.
You want to talk about?
Well, first of all, Eric Nelson was his name. I believe, I've been around the horn a little bit, let's say, and I've been in a few studios, and I will tell you this: he was the best musician, period, that I'd ever been around. If you just set an instrument down, he played it, and I mean played it good. So all of my music, I demand. Now, every once in a while, hey, I'll throw out an AI flyer, as they're easy. And, I can look good or bad. You never know until you press the button, But when it comes to music, I'm old school. Brian Schartzer, good buddy of mine, and also a GAC recording artist. And he's the same way. We build our stuff from scratch. Every instrument's played right there live. I don't believe in any auto-tune. Right. So Eric did all that in-house. And not only that, but he was just a gentleman, always upbeat. And man, he really is responsible for helping me. And he told me, he said, "Big Guy, you got to develop a sound. And you've got it. You got a booming voice. We just got to put the old harness on you a little bit, And that's what Leon Everett said when he signed me to a record contract. He said, "We got to change your image. You're the guy that's been playing in these, biker bars. And I love my biker buddies, trust me. But he said, you're the most likely guy to jump off the stage when something happens." He said, that's not what you want. He said, "But I'll tell you this, I've seen all the stuff you've done for kids, your work with America's Most Wanted. I see you just, when you're around people just love you, they hug you, and you're like a big teddy bear." So he said, "We're going to change your image a little bit." He said, you are now, he like anointed me, and a guy with 9 gold albums, you're going to let change your name.
If he wants to, absolutely.
Right. So Leon said, you are now the teddy bear with the golden voice. So that's what they call me now, which I don't know that I fit any of that, but I'm having fun. We're going to sell teddy bears at my shows. We're working on all that. And, I'm just living the dream, having a blast. My band is coming along great. It's called The Mob, Big Guy in the Mob, all studio cats that are, amazing. All of them have played out in bands for years, but they're now my band. And, we work tirelessly right now to get out on the road, and we're ready. We're ready to rock.
So your time with Eric, again, my condolences to you and the family, anyone who had anything to do with the man. We had him on the show, seemed to be a very stand-up guy, very personable. I enjoyed the interview. I'm very blessed. I was told that was the last interview that he did. I was his last
client. I drove in his parking lot on July 18th with my fiance Kimmy, and she always goes to the studio with me. She helps also harness me back. When I get in the booth, I have a bad habit. I get so jacked because I really want to have my voice warmed up. I want to be ready to go, get in the zone, and I just get too hyper. And so she slowed me down. Eric always slowed me down. And my best story, I think, when you lose someone like that, you got to tell the best story, right?
Absolutely.
And my best story with Eric is I'm in the booth and he's like, back it down. He said, I don't know what you're doing, but what the word walking, he said, you're saying it like you're going to, knock somebody out. And he said, I want you to back that down a little bit. And the song was called Simple Plan. And there was a line in it that said walking, and then it says talking, and I was just like diving through the microphone, and he made me say the word walking, that entire line, 19 times. So I'm sweating. I'm trying to get this line right to please him. And he's the type of guy, he was a great vocal coach. That really helped me. I needed that coming back after years of not really training my voice. And I started taking some more lessons, and he's the best. And anyway, so he made me say walking 19 times. So anytime Kimmy and I now hear the word, if somebody will be talking to somebody, like you might say to me, hey, are you guys driving or are you walking? We'll look at each other and we'll go walking. Walking.
So
yeah. God bless him. Yeah.
Did you get the final mix on that song that you recorded that last day?
Well, I'm trying to be, he just passed on August 2nd. I'm trying to be easygoing with the family and not run in and go, hey, I want my tracks and this and that. But I did send, a note, and I'm sure somebody at the studio is going to, they've got proprietary stuff they've got to return to people. But when we walked in that day, I knew, he had cancer. And anyway, I knew when I saw him, he was generally speaking walking around at about 190 pounds. But, 5'10", 5'11", kind of a, stouter guy, not bad, just stout and, athletic guy. But he was probably down to 98 pounds that day. Oh. And I hadn't seen him in 2 months because I skipped a session. I was out of town. And so it was 2 months. And he had, they say at the end, you really go down fast. And he did. And I said, you're going home. And he said, no. He said, big guy, I want to do the song for you. It was the second song that I got from the archives of Billy Don Burns. I think one of the best writers in Nashville. He's a legend. And that my song Lonesome 77203 is in the top 100 also now. And that was a Billy Don Burns song. And he's become a great mentor to me. And he was just loving the way I did that song, which was a blessing. And then he wanted me to do another one, and I did. So we did Born to Ride. And I redid it in my kind of fashion, but always keeping in mind that, that's his race car, not mine. And so I kept it close to the original, but just added my way of doing it. And, the way I look at it, if you do another artist's song, you don't go and chop that thing up. You keep it as close to the original as possible. You give kudos to that person for what their artwork that they did. And then you also remember that you respect. Every time you say something about that track, you mention who wrote it. And that's the way I feel about him. And he has really become an amazing mentor and ally of mine, and blessed. So anyway, that's still in the vault at Eric's studio. But there's 4 hours. I mean, he couldn't even stand up, couldn't even lift a guitar, but yet he put an acoustic and did one of the most amazing acoustic riffs on this thing, because it had a tiny bit of acoustic in the background. Well, we made it from scratch. It's amazing what he did with the song, but I haven't got my hands on it yet. But Leon Everett, who owns GAC Records and owns the record label that I'm on, said, get the tracks, and then I'll help you finish it. We'll get it finished together. We'll find a spot that you're comfortable with, probably down there in, South Carolina or Nashville, and we'll get this thing finished. And I said, I want to dedicate it to him. And Leon said, absolutely. So that's what we're going to do. I'm sure I'll get it. That was his last works. He went into the hospital that night and never came out.
Wow. I mean, that is a touching story, bro. I asked Schartzer yesterday, and I'm going to ask you the same question. You're looking ahead. Where do you go from here as far as a producer wise?
Well, I'm a free agent. I've got 5 songs that have all been produced. I've got a 6th in the, on deck and ready to swing, sitting over at Eric's studio. It's got 4 hours worth of amazing work on it. I've already done the sing down on it. So we just need to add a bunch more. I want to add some slide and some other stuff. But anyway, so I'll have 6 total finished tracks. My first 2 releases both hit the top 100. I don't know what's going to happen with those. I've got 2 songs that everyone that's listened to them said they're top 10 songs. And I haven't even been able to release them yet because of good fortune. And that is that my first 2 songs are climbing up the chart. One is right at the moment, number 51. And I'm told it's actually on the next outgo here, I'm going to be in the 40s. I kind of got a little inside track there. And then the other one, Lonesome, was 78, and it's going to be down to 72. So we're each one of those is moving. So you don't want to let a DJ look at 5 of your releases on the same day. You know what I mean? So they're sitting there, they're waiting, they're poised. But I've got a song called Simple Plan that a couple of the DJs that have picked it up and seen it said, I'm playing it. And it's just, I think it's going to be red hot. I've got another one that I originally called Satan, listen to this. This is a Beverly story. I called it My Satan and Satin because Creed Fisher did a song called Devil in Boots, and he just released it on his new album. And I like Creed Fisher, man. I love his stuff. And Schartzer called me, and it just was, months ago. And he said, Creed Fisher just released a song called Devil in Boots. It reminds me of something you would have written. You've got to write a song similar. I'm telling you, bro, this is you. So on the way home, Kimmy and I were driving from Shields. I was just picking up some new, I'd like to say cowboy boots, but sneakers, because I got to walk a lot now here at Walking. Walking. Anyway, he said, do it. So I got home and I wrote My Satan and Satin in 30 minutes. Well, that's not a big deal. Guys have written songs in 7 minutes on a napkin, right? So, but anyway, it took me 30 minutes. So that was pretty amazing. Never changed a word. I called Beverly. I said, I just wrote a new song. We got to release it. I'm like going crazy. What's the name of it? I said, My Satan and Satin. She can't stand the word Satan. Well, of course, I don't like it either. But, I'm also, a creative writer. I'm going to write what I want to write. She said, first you give me a song that says, Kiss My Bad American Ass. You follow that up with something that reminds everybody of that song called So Red, White, and Blue. You just got off the Americana trip. Now you send me a song that says My Satan and Satin. But you keep being successful. What are we going to do with you? So I'm going to surprise her.
Cranking them out.
Right. So I'm going to surprise her with this. I changed the name of the song. It's now called She's Spending Like Manhattan, because that's part of the hook in it. So she's going to be so happy. So anyway, I'm going to re-release it as She's Spending Like Manhattan, because that's what it's about. It's about a chick that you take into the bar, Everything she's wearing is too tight. She's spending like frickin' Manhattan. You got nothing left but half of your pride and a halfway decent, great looking chick that's wearing tight stuff that's talking to every guy in the place. And you're either going to fly or fight. And that's what it is.
You're about to lose the other half of your dignity as well. So let's talk more serious. I enjoyed talking about your music, but you're not only music. You have an event coming up September 12th, child safety event. What is? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm retired from the child safety field, but I've got a good buddy of mine that they train my whole family. And I've got 30 years of my family going to Empowered Martial Arts in Springfield. And it's owned by John Gaston and Rick Christie. And there's a funny thing because, I'm, no regional badass or anything. But what I do is when I call over there, I'll say, hey, who's this? And the guy will answer the phone. So, well, this is Adam or whoever. I say, listen, bro, don't make me come down there, okay? He goes, is this big guy? I said, what
is this Roy D. Mercer?
Don't make me come down there. Yeah, if I go down there, I would be thrown, I'm a little roughed up, back in the day, maybe a different story. But they throw me on the ground, and, but they're all nice to me. They don't beat me up too bad. My son worked his way through their program, and he's a house black belt there, and he does some training with the kids. And his son is like a junior black belt. He's 6 years old. I come in and they'll end up like kicking me 5 times when I see him, But I wanted I've got 10 grandkids and 4 grown kids. And I only demanded one thing from them. Every one of your kids and every one of my kids is going to be bully proof. I can't be there every minute. I'm not standing in a 4th grade classroom. I probably should be, but I'm not.
You'd be a big 4th grader. You'd be walking in there.
Yeah, I'll be walking. 6'2.5", 270-pound 4th grader. That's me. But anyway, so Rick is a 7th degree. He is a regional badass, and he's here's another classic story. My son called me. He was getting his black belt from Hoist Gracie. Do you know who Hoist Gracie
is?
Okay, well, Hoist was there in town.
The whole Gracie family.
Yes,
you're done. If they get you on the floor, you're done.
You're done. And Hoist was one of the, original MMA guys. He was fighting 600-pound guys before there was no limit except you couldn't gouge him in the eye.
Yep.
So anyway, he's in town, and he said to my son, Danny, he said, I want to meet your dad. I want to know who made you the way you are, because he said, you're like the funniest guy on the planet. And I love your drive, your intensity. I want to meet your dad. And he said all that with a Brazilian accent, right, I guess. So he gets on the phone, calls me. Dad, I got Hoist Gracie here. I said, hey, I'm going to tell you one thing. You tell Hoist, don't effing make me come down there. You understand? And he goes, I didn't know I was on a speakerphone. He goes, hey, Papa, I heard you. I'm like, oh, my God. And
so now you got idle threats.
Yeah. He goes, you want to come down and roll? I said, no, I don't want to be a pretzel. But thanks for giving my kid his black belt. He speaks so highly of you. And but no, I won't be coming down tonight. He goes, you don't have to worry. We just roll for a little bit. I said, I'm not going to be a pretzel. Thanks, Hoist.
I'll pass.
I'll pass
you can
on
roll
that.
Me from here.
Yeah. So, but a fun thing. So anyway, September 12th, I still have a few of these digital fingerprint systems that my company, Operation Kid Safe International, traveled all over North America and, Canada, U.S., Puerto Rico. And I found a way to get sponsors so that this could be done free for kids everywhere in the world. And I spent 20 years doing that. We safeguarded 1.8 million kids. Not a single parent had to do anything except show up. And those were done like event type things. And of course, I'm not doing that anymore, but I still have a few of those FBI systems. And I got one for Rick for that weekend. And I'm going to be out there to shake hands with the parents and give them my safety tips. One of the tips that I came up with was a thing called Check First, still used by the FBI. It's a simple way to break a child away from proximity. Like if someone would come up, a bad guy maybe, could be a good guy. But if you're a good guy, you don't come up and ask kids for directions, right?
Right.
But if a bad guy comes up and says to the kid, hey, where's the ballpark? Point it out to me. if the kid walks up to them, they could be grabbed, they could be pulled in. So we teach them, check with the adult in charge first. Well, who's the adult in charge? Mom, dad, sister, brother, teacher. Wherever you're at, the child always knows there's an adult in charge. And you put them there. You put them with that teacher, so you would respect that the teacher could make that decision. So the kid runs to the adult in charge. It's a very simple one, but it's something that kids know. You also have to teach a kid that if you don't know who someone is, you don't have to be overly polite and do what they tell you to do. And that's a problem, because I used to train my kids to be almost military. You don't talk back to adults. You don't do this. You don't do that. And you got to be careful with that, because they will submit right into a bad adult. So we teach them all that. And that's what that's about. And then Rick does a amazing course where they show the kids how to escape if someone grabs them around the back, come from behind, comes up like this, does this, shows them how to break out of it. They usually use me as the tackling dummy, by the way. No, I'll be walking.
He'll be walking for sure.
I'll be walking. But no, they show the kids how to get out of certain things if someone would grab them. And it's just a real nice weekend. It's in Springfield, Illinois. If anybody, that's my hometown. If anybody is in that area, it's September 12th. From noon to 2, come on out. I'll be out there to meet and greet parents, and Rick will be there doing all the demonstrations. So there you go.
Share it on your social media, and I'll
it's on there.
Get it out there as well.
Yep.
As I see it, I will continue to share it. The closest
Awesome.
I'm getting to being a black belt is my tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
I love it. Got
me a Bruce Lee tattoo several years ago. I've always loved me some Bruce.
I love it.
You've got your own podcast. I don't think we touched on that last time you were on the show. Tell us a little bit about your podcast. What does it consist of?
Well, I've got two of them. One, my personal one is The World According to Big Guy, which is a scary place to be in my mind. But it's not all about music. It's about everything. The only thing it's not about, I don't do politics. Okay? Don't do politics. And as soon as somebody brings it up, I said, I told you up front, we don't do politics. So I don't care if you're a Trumper, a stumper, a bumper. I don't care what you are. That's not what I want to talk about. Everybody else can deal with that. I'm dealing with other realities. So I talk about child safety. I talk about making your business stronger. I talk about a way that I can take your business and in 2 days, increase your business by 15%. And somebody goes, well, how would you do that? I'd say, learn how to answer your phones.
People laugh. That is a big thing. You call places and it's, I'll call for a service and it seems like I'm in their way.
Yep.
They're trying to get rid of me so they can get back to their social media scrolling or whatever they're doing. And it turns me off.
How right are you, Rob? How right? Yeah. It's funny that you think someone like you or I might be ready to, put down 50, 60 grand on a new vehicle. I used to own car dealerships years ago, and, I was very big into training. I did a kind of a longer term thing with Tony Robbins, learning the different techniques and things that basically what it comes down to, it's how you treat a customer. You treat them like family. There's no tricks. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's hard work. There's the willingness to tell somebody you're going to solve their problem, and you're going to give them a time frame in which you're going to do it. And if you can promise that, people are going to go, first of all, I actually talked to a human. Second of all, they gave me a promise, and then you have to follow up. And I just developed different charts and things that other dealers used. And I used to train hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other car dealerships how to be better. And one of the first things was learn how to answer your phone. And when I was trying to close another car dealer spend money with me, I simply said, hey, you're not a buyer. Well, what do you mean? You're not a buyer because you're not even listening. So let's just do this. I'll prove the point to you, and then you can have somebody else fix it. I know how to fix it, but you can let somebody else fix it. So let's just do this. Pick up your phone. Call your own business right now. It's right outside your door here. Call it, and let's see what happens. And it's always absolute tragedy, right?
Then they see exactly how bad it is.
Right. So there you go. So you don't think you need me? Have a good day.
And see your car sales continue to dip.
Yeah. Yeah, and just your pride in how you take care of your business. You know, you ought to be able. If someone said to me when I had my car dealerships, if somebody would have said to me, "Hey, I'm not going to buy from you because you're $500 higher than so and so," I would come out and meet them, and I'd say, "You're kidding me. That's all? Let me do this before we finish up on this deal. Let me go back in and raise my prices, because let me tell you, I give you a free loaner car." Do they do that? Let me answer for you. The answer is no. Okay. If your car breaks down, what do you need? Do you need someone like me to talk to, or do you need a car? Who's going to pay for that car? I am. I have a fleet of them. And that's what I did. I invested not in all the BS and all of the sugar on spending $80,000 a month in advertising. I invested in cars free for my customers, and then shouted from the top of the hill, "I got it."
So, and to me, in turn, that would make them be, "Oh, okay, I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Let's get in there and start signing some papers."